Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to episode 13 of the FightersRep podcast. And it's a special episode because I have a young man that is absolutely a future star of the sport. Hell, if you ask me, he's a current local star in Southern California. It's none other than David Death Dealer Marquez. David, how you doing, brother?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate the announcement and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Death dealer's only in the ring, but yeah, out here I just like tell everybody I'm just David. I don't even like to let people know I'm a fighter most of the time, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I would imagine it's hard for them not to tell because I feel like you're always, you always look like you're about to get into a fight, or we're at the gym, or are on the way to the gym. You know
Yeah,
what I
man.
mean? You really, you wear the sport well. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah. So, before we got on this call, you mentioned to me, and before we talk about your fight, I think it's very exciting to point out that you've taken on a different role at BP Martial Arts Academy. You've kind of graduated into a more sophisticated, more responsible role. Kind of let me know what's been going on with you, man, since the last time you fought.
Well, fucking same shit, just fucking different day basically. I stay my ass in the gym, I stay training. But as in terms of like the role change that you said, I've taken on the role of a head coach over at our gym, Buena Park Martial Arts Academy. Leading the curriculum for the boxing classes, the Muay Thai classes, whether it's intermediate adults, advanced adults, or the kids classes. I'm basically running them all, and like I said, creating the curriculum, still running underneath the same system that my lineage comes from, for our academy system. But yeah, man, it helps me kind of understand my game a little bit better too. But yeah, it's a big juggle. You got to be a fighter and a coach.
Yeah.
It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, and I'm sure it also helps you. I'm sure you don't have any shortage of sparring partners and everything else. So I would
Yeah,
imagine. I mean,
yeah. I open up my gym, even to like past opponents, or stuff like that. I open it up to them, say, hey man, if you guys ever want to get work, I'm trying to create a nice hub over at Buena Park Martial Arts Academy.
mhm.
All egos out the fucking door, but just like-headed people, common-minded people that realistically all want to just fucking fight, bang it out, have a good sparring session. But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
with all respect, with all respect.
yeah. Well, David, we're very excited because we didn't get to have you fight for a title at the last Fighters Rep.
Yeah,
You
super
suffered
sorry
an
for that.
injury. You suffered an injury, but here we are. November 18th is just over a month away, and we're finally going to get it. We're going to get Death Dealer Marquez versus Mariano Corona. Now, I did interview Mariano yesterday. He
Yeah,
had some choice words, although I thought it was kind of funny because his reasoning was kind of funny, I thought.
yeah, yeah.
But he's definitely he always has come off as the type, and I don't, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's just you. He just doesn't want to be friends with his opponent before they get in that ring for
True,
whatever
true.
reason. Maybe that's how he psychs himself out.
Yeah.
Um, but kind of tell me first off how it's been this recovery for you, right? Because you won that contendership fight against Nathan Hawthorne. You were supposed to go right into a title fight at the next Fighters Rep. You got injured. So how has the recovery been, and how are you feeling going into this camp and into this fight for a title against Mariano Corona?
Well, the recovery was quick. I tried to like baby it as much as I could right off the bat. I didn't really do too much sparring. Like I said, I stay in the gym. I stayed doing all my heavy bag work, all my running, all my rope work, all my weightlifting, all my conditioning, all that stuff. Just kind of stayed lax on really like any full contact to the face and stuff like that. I would do like light sparring sessions with people I trusted, going to like the body, the legs, keeping me sharp in movement. But like I said, I really just babied my nose, and I and respects to Mariano Corona for fighting with a broken nose super soon. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing that I'm always gonna do. I'm always gonna show respect to my opponents, whether they fucking hate me or not. I really could give a fuck less. You know what I mean? I could care. I mean, we're gonna fucking fight no matter what. you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I could give less of a fuck. But pardon my French, you know. But yeah, I just like to take care of it. This is the money maker, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
so so
And and listen, I don't want anyone to fight with a broken nose. I think that could be really, really dangerous. As much as I respect the toughness, I think I
yeah.
said that yesterday. That's probably not the best move, but
No, but
continue.
you gotta, yeah, but I gotta respect him for it, I mean, he
Yeah,
fought through it,
yeah,
got a win on it too, so that's super
yeah,
badass.
you do.
Me, I'm just a little bit more careful about my body, and stuff like that. So I took the time off. The recovery was quick, like I said. And in this camp, I just feel like it's been the same ball rolling. Like I said, I stay in the gym, I stay active. Like I said, I open up my gym to as much work as I can with high level people. I don't spar with chumps. You know what I mean? I try to get the best work with the high level people, and that's kind of like my goal for fighting too. I'm not trying out, I'm not trying to go out there and spar chumps. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to have good fights with good fighters. And Mariano Corona proved himself to be a good fighter up against Ian Holloway. And yeah, man, that's just what I'm there to do. Camp has been awesome. I feel fucking amazing.
I love it. I love it. And what was your impression of his fight at that fighters rep where he landed that knockout? What did you think? Did you expect that to happen? I mean, who were you expecting to challenge you for the title?
Um, at the end of the day, I always think of everything it's a fight. You know what I mean? I gave them both equal grounds. Obviously Mariano Corona going in there being the older man. I gave him the man strength. Not saying Ian Holloway isn't a strong kid. He's just still a little young. And I think that also played a factor into the game. I think he got caught a little early. Hadn't really felt adversity in the ring yet. Being such a dominant fighter that he's always been. So I think he got caught, and Mariano Corona capitalized on it very well, though. His setup was nice. He said he baited him off of a lazy jab. Like I said, that had to do with a couple of other factors, but he set it up well, and the power is there.
Yeah, yeah.
Now at the end of the day, I don't know how powerful it is. Because everybody says they hit hard, and it looks like they hit hard. I don't say I really hit hard, but I guess there are some videos out there that beg to differ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see how hard he actually hits on that date. And like I said, I'm not putting down any of his skills. I respect him on it, but at the end of the day, we're gonna fucking get it. So you know, I respect him for it.
And fucking getting it is something you're definitely known for at the Lions Den. I wanted to tell you, he had obviously a spectacular knockout at Fighters Rep 18, and you had not too long before that an absolutely spectacular knockout too. I mean, these are two guys that are fighting for this belt that have both kind of blown the roof off the place with their knockouts. Does that get you a little bit excited? Does that make you feel like this fight, it's got a little bit more seasoning, a little bit more spice than your typical title fight?
Yeah, man, he said it, he said it's gonna be a style of match, a fight of styles and stuff like that. Like I'm more of the mover thinker style guy, and he's more of just the bulldozer come for you style, but I don't think I lack any bit of fucking gas, you know what I mean? I put my foot on the pedal. Um I hear fucking Nathan running his fucking mouth too. Like I said, I can fucking care less what these guys say. But he was saying it was a close fight. I hear a lot of other people saying it was a close fight. And I do believe it was a close fight. I think he's a good fighter too. But at the end of the day, on the scorecards, it was a unanimous fucking decision. So, I was the one who put it on just a little bit fucking more. So, he's gonna bring it and I'm gonna fucking get it. And that's kind of what I'm expecting to do, um at the end, this is something I do have to kind of say. I feel like a lot of people in the division still just don't give me like the respect, that like I give everybody else. Like I respect people's power, I respect people's gyms, I respect this and that, what they bring to the table. But I feel like people just don't really respect me yet until they enter
Yeah.
the ring with me. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking to do. I don't expect people to give it to me. I earn that fucking shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll say this. I mean, as the promoter of all you guys, I definitely respect you, man. I think you're not only very marketable, but I think you're a hell of a fighter. I love your movement. I love, the fact that, for me, this fight is very interesting because he's that come forward style. He's trying to take you out, and I like that. But I've seen you in there with that,
Hmm.
and I feel like that's something that you've dealt with very well in the past, especially in the Lions Den. Um,
Most definitely, most definitely.
yeah, yeah. So that's why this fight for me is so exciting, because I know he's going to bring it, but I know that that's not something that you don't know how to deal with. That's something you've dealt with very well in the Lions Den before. And I'll say, whatever you're hearing from other people, I'll tell you now, man, you're definitely one of the better fighters in all of Fighters Rep, and I love watching you in there. And I think anyone who knows anything about fighting and has seen you compete would agree with me. And that's how we're going to figure this out on November 18th between you and
Yeah,
Mariano Corona,
it's gonna
because you
it's
guys,
the
you
score. We're
know,
gonna determine it all. Yes.
yeah, because you guys are the cream of the crop right now. You guys rose to the top, and we're going to see who the man is. Now, whoever wins between you two, maybe Nathan Hawthorne is in the future, but you two are the ones that won and advanced. And so you two are the ones that, I think everybody's excited about. Now, another thing I want to say is, besides that incredible knockout, I mean, let's just call it what it was against Yadir Perez. That was just absolutely insane, that knockout. I
Mhm.
think that overshadowed your other performances in the Lions Den, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I say that to kind of say that it wasn't just that fantastic knockout you had in the Lions Den. You also had a fight of the night against Ralph Sanchez in the past, a fight that a lot of people thought you won. And
Yeah.
that was also a
Yeah.
very close fight, but an incredible fight nonetheless. And that he ended up winning. But again, a lot of people thought it was closer that you won. And then you had another fight before that in the Lions Den where you just put on a heck of a performance. And I feel like you're getting better every time. What can we expect? What sort of improvements can we expect, if any, from the Death Dealer come November 18th at Fighters Rep 20?
I always say that I try to change my game a little bit, every single time. Um, but yeah, like you said, the people know that maybe I start a little slower, and the train has to get a little bit of steam going, before I really get to fucking pumping my shit out. But yeah, the fights before, people came for me really fast, really quick, So, just tapping into that fucking go mode sooner, I guess, might be an improvement that you guys might see in there. I don't know yet though, but that's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
something, getting going faster, you know what I mean? Letting the people know that hey, I'm here to fucking bang a little bit sooner, possibly. And just some things that a lot of my coaches, I'm very lucky. I have a very awesome team about me right now that takes care of a lot of the technical shit for me, and I just have to really worry about being a fighter when it comes time for that. So they're of course going to be doing the game plan and setting up things that they're like, hey, these are the no nos in your game plan. These are the yeses, and
Yeah.
stick to this, drop these, fix this. We're working on that daily. Like I said, I'm my ass stays in the fucking gym. And like I always tell everybody, every single performance and every single interview, I want to put on a fucking show for the Fighters Rep fans. I want to put on a show for my family, my friends, my teammates, So expect a fucking banger of a fight. And and yeah, man, that's what you guys should expect.
And it's the only thing we've ever gotten from you, man. I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, if you guys haven't gotten your tickets to come out and watch this fight, there are a ton of other incredible fights on this card. As you guys know, Fighters Rep, we got this kickboxing rule set like none other. We sit at a 50% finish rate. And David, Death Dealer Marquez, has, definitely contributed to that finishing rate. We're always floating around 50%. So, you're coming to the show and you're watching guys go out there and go for the finish. And, you're definitely not going to want to miss the Death Dealer, who lives by his name, lives by his rep, and tries to go in there and get the finish. Before I continue, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Join the channel. It's just $9.99 a month, and you get to watch the events live if you can't make it. But there's no excuse for that, David, because they can get their tickets at FightersRep.com. Come to the beautiful Commerce Casino with all the lights and the camera and the drama and the action. And they can watch you guys throw down and stay at the hotel no matter where they're at in the country. They can fly in and check it out. It's at FightersRep.com. That's where you can get your tickets. But again, if you can't make it, join the channel and check it out. And don't forget to follow David at DeathDealer_125 on Instagram. Definitely give him a follow. Now, another thing I'm excited about, David, and his comment is right here. Coach Pot, he says, David definitely hits hard. It sounds to me like he's involved in this camp with you again. I'm very excited to hear about that because I know Coach Pot is a very seasoned striking coach, former fighter. And it sounds like he's giving you some, some work. He's giving you some seasoning for this fight. Tell me a little bit about, having a fantastic coach like Coach Pot in your corner helping you through this fight camp.
Yeah, like I said, I have an awesome team about me right now. Coach Pot is and always has been a very big staple in my fight game, my camps, the way I carry myself mentally into the fight. Amongst him being an awesome striking coach and one of my favorite coaches that I get to work with. I like to think of him as a nice, dad figure in the ring and stuff like that. He lets me know, he reminds me who the fuck I am in there. You know what I mean? Especially on the pads, he keeps me true. He keeps me sharp. He never lets me falter. You know what I mean? He does really good work with me, and I feel like I do really good work with him. So having him there in my camp and in my corner, because he's going to be in my corner for the fight as well too. That's just another reason to just expect a fucking banger of a fight, with him behind my back. I feel like there's nothing I can't fucking do. And like I always tell people, when it comes to fight night, I will always level the fuck up.
And he definitely tells it like it is too, and he tells you what you need to hear when you need to hear it, is what it sounds like and looks like to me. We got Hadi Sukkar, a teammate of yours, in the chat, throwing up the flames. Shout out to Hadi.
Another FightersRep card too. Let's go.
We've got Carlos Enriquez in here saying, let's go, David. Appreciate you guys. Listen, if you guys drop anything in the super chat or any super thanks, any money at all, we're splitting the profit halfway with David on this podcast. And if you guys want to sponsor him, you can reach out to me, or you could reach out directly to him at DeathDealer_Marquez. We'd love to make that happen. David, what do you see in Mariano Corona, good and bad? What do you think makes it a good fight for you? What do you think might be trouble for you? What can you tell me without revealing too much about your game plan?
Well, right off the bat, I think one thing that's like a double-edged sword for him is the emotional game. You know what I mean? He says he likes to, like get angry or get mad at his fighters or whatever and stuff like that. So that could possibly play into a positive into my fight game. Or, emotion is a very strong thing. So, it could, play into very well into his fight game. I think that's probably just going to be one of the biggest factors. And that's pretty much all I'm going to really say. Like you said, not to give away too much of the game plan and stuff like that. But we'll see how it works. And just a shout out to him as well, too, man. I didn't forget your name on purpose. It's just because I just knew Ian because I used to train with him before. So don't dig too much into it. Respectfully, like, I could fucking care less about you, bro. That's just it. I don't know you. You're not my family or anything like that. So if I forgot your name and that made you mad, sorry, but I guess use it to fuel you up. For me though, George, I love this shit. So that's why I'm always bouncing around. I'm all happy at the fucking weigh-ins, I'm sorry that he hated on me for that. Like, sorry, bro. Like, I really do love this shit when it comes to the training, the weight cuts, all that stuff. I really, really do love this shit in and out. And if you guys hate me for it, well, like I said, I can give less of a fuck because, I'm the one out there fighting.
I did think it was kind of funny when he said that he was miserable at the weigh-ins and he was upset that somebody was happy about it.
Yeah, bro, I'm like that at every weigh-in. I do well with my weight cuts. I stay healthy. Like I said, I'm always in the gym. So, like, hey, I'm sorry you're a little fucking mad about it, but
I don't know why. That was just so ridiculous to me. I mean, I think he's hilarious. You know, that's why I enjoy doing these interviews with you guys, because like I would have never known that about Mariano, and I don't know. I just thought that was funny. And obviously, if I
After
didn't
my
do these,
I was like, oh fuck, all right, like
and then obviously, I'm glad I got to do all. I've done all these interviews with you, and we've got you in front of the camera so much because your personality has been really infectious as well. I mean, for me, your post-fight interview at Fighters Rep 15 is still like one of the highlights of this promotion, man. I mean, that knockout and then that post-fight interview, that combination, man, like I don't think anybody's matched that energy yet. And so I cannot wait to see what you do on November 18th, man.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
We've got Walter Maulian in here. He says, let's get this win. Face to bring that belt home. Or I think he was trying to write David and it autocorrected. Bring that belt home. Yeah, so you definitely got a lot of support in here, brother.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys.
And then we have Let's Go Dave, bring the belt home from Sherry Middlestetter. Wow,
Hey,
David, you've gotten pretty popular here, man.
yeah, a lot of them are family, teammates, and stuff like that. Some people I know, high school and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you know, I since high school, I told everybody, hey, man, as soon as I get out, I'm gonna fucking fight, and I want to do it. I want to be good at it. You know, I'm never gonna fucking bitch out from it. So here I am. You know, Fighters Rep 20, baby. It's a fucking staple. Death Dealer's back in the house. I'm ready to fucking bang. It's for a belt. I'm so fucking excited to perform. Like I was telling him, you know, he can use all that fucking anger to get ready, but man, just thinking about fucking these guys up gets me fucking. I'm so amped, baby. I'm pumped.
David, let me ask you: if you win this title, is this your first title in combat sports, or have you won one already?
No, I haven't won one yet. I fought for the IFS title and IKF title up against Gustavo Flores a while back ago, which he's fought for you guys before too.
Yeah, yeah.
Good fighter as well too. He comes from a great team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
he's
think
really good.
we had a super awesome fight. You know, there were some fucking things that I felt were a little bit fucked up. You know, like I got called on some sweeps because it was Muay Thai that like he got a-okayed on. And then, you know, he gave me an illegal kick in the third round. I was a downed opponent. Both my gloves and feet were touching the mat, and he soccer kicked me in the face in the third round.
Jeez.
But like I said, I'll never fucking bitch out. I'll never back down. You really have to fucking put me out for me to stop. So, I got back up. I finished the fourth and fifth round. Took a split decision, loss. You know, so he didn't beat by much. You know, like I said, I still brought it. I ended up dropping him in the end of the fifth round too. So I'm gonna fight till the end. But yeah, that was my first title contendership. Once again, I feel like I won it, but it slipped through my hands, and this will be my first, my next title. The one that I really, really want, though. I feel like the Lions Den is my home. You guys really, really take care of your fighters there, and I appreciate, you know, all the work you give me, you know, and stuff like that. So you definitely do try to keep us active, you know, whether they want to or not, you do. So I appreciate that, and yeah, man, I really want to fucking win this belt. So
Thank you, man. You know, that means a lot to me. And I'll say this, man, you know, I feel like, and I've said this in the past, and maybe people won't agree, you know, I feel like the Muay Thai rule set, you know, it allows people to hold, it allows people to stall.
yeah,
And, you know, I feel like you, David, I mean, maybe you disagree, right? But from what I've seen from you, like a rule set where they can't hold you and they can't stall you, a kickboxing rule set where they're forced to stand in front of you and fight. You know, I feel like you're going to be a very,
preach,
very
Jordan.
hard person. Hard
Preach.
person. Yeah, yeah. So the Death Dealer, ladies and gentlemen, I think you're going to be very hard to beat in the kickboxing rule set. That's why we've got Mariano Corona, who's also going to be very hard to beat, and I kind of look forward to it. I wanted to ask you about him too. You know, like he had that fight with Crispy, it was a close fight, and then you know he kind of came out of nowhere and landed this massive first round, you know, KO, you know, and really announced himself on the scene. And people, you know, people in the past have kind of looked at the lower divisions, 126, you know, 130, 120s or whatever, and talked about them like they weren't exciting. But man, I mean, this division, you know, now with him in there, and now obviously with you having been in there you know, it's hard to argue. You know, it's almost, you could almost make the argument that this is the most exciting division with all the knockouts that have happened. What are your thoughts on that, if any?
Well, man, everybody wants to go out there to watch fucking knockouts. So of course they're thinking the heavier weight divisions and stuff like that. But with these guys, I mean, some people are cutting like 15, 20 pounds sometimes, so there are some bigger guys in the weight division. But with the skill that comes and stuff like that, I feel like we're getting very, very, very tactical, very skillful in our ways. So that allows us to get some really, really nice knockouts. And like you said, it's probably one of the skillful ones. We use movement with our feet, with our heads. We use setups. We have multiple different angles to attack from. And like I said, we have a few people in the division that hit hard too. I want to thank that for once again my coaches, Coach Pot, a lot of my mentors and stuff like that, Cisco Rivera, David Duran, Steven Ramirez, a lot of all these bigger guys that I just constantly go with. They're always way heavier than me, and I feel like dealing with heavier guys constantly, which I'm sure Mariano Corona does too, but that just attributes to our power aspect. So
Yeah.
if people are sleeping on the lighter divisions, don't we bring a very, very, very fast attacks, and like you said, we're starting to rack up those knockouts in this division too. So
Yeah.
it's explosive, and I feel like it's just as explosive as any other division.
If anything, the movement is just crazy, And when I think about you, David,
Mhm.
because lighter weight guys tend to be able to move their bodies around a bit better than the heavy lumbering guys. But especially when I think about you, David, your movement is just, there's no way else to put it, man. Your movement is just fantastic, bro. I mean, it's
Thank you.
amazing. It's amazing to watch you move around that ring. And I'll say you probably, like, I would be hard pressed to find too many people with the same movement as you. You probably have some of the best movement. The only other person I can think of that comes to mind right away is maybe Hamza Trod.
Yeah,
I feel like he's
very nice
got,
moves too. Yes.
yeah, I feel like he darts in and out left and right a lot too. But man, for me, your movement is just incredible. And you can put people out with the punch, with the shins. I mean, you're very explosive, and I'm very excited about this fight. Let me ask you though, a lot of people, maybe they've never been to a kickboxing show before, maybe they've never been to a fighters rep event before. Why should they get up and buy a ticket or join the channel and watch Death Dealer Marquez take on Mariano Corona on November 18th at Fighters Rep 20?
Well, like the main man said right now, Fighters Rep Fez, guys, the rule set is just set for just violence. There's no stalling. Yes, the rounds are maybe shorter than MMA or stuff like that, but they have those prolonged rounds for grappling, for hugging, for tugging, for whatever it may be. But 2-minute rounds, straight action. Anytime it comes to a stalemate, they break you up and make you get right back to it. Me and a couple of my buddies, I'm sure you guys have had him on your card before, but Sergio, the Cuban Missile Crisis, that guy is another fucking savage in the ring and stuff like that too. He's a beast in the fucking training room, and me and him always say the same thing. We're here to do the fucking man dance. You know what I mean? We're not here to pit pat around. So all this little hugging and grabbing and squeezing and stuff like that, break it and get right to the business. So guys, Fighters Rep is where you can watch it all happen, guys. The best rule set, straight to the damage. Like we've been talking about. I try to put on a show every single fucking time. Fight of the night, knockout of the night, fight of the night. Like I'm racking them up. I love to perform in the Lions Den, guys. Like you said, you can get your tickets through me if you guys want to support me directly, or you guys can go to FightersRep.com, click on the tickets, buy them there, put my name David Marquez at the end to support me. If not, guys, click and get live stream. You guys can go to YouTube and watch it live. Trust me, they do a great job at fucking videotaping everything too. It's one of the best shows, guys, amateur and professionals out here in the West Coast for kickboxing. So just get it, guys. Show up. And like I said, I'm fighting for a fucking title and I want to bang the fuck out. So let's go.
I love it. And where can people, come out in droves, get the Death Dealer, maybe get some Death Dealer gear or something? What else can people do to support you besides buying tickets off of you, or besides buying tickets online and putting your name in at checkout where it asks, who did you come to see? How can people support you, man, in this fight camp?
Man, come by the gym, get some work from me. I mean, if you want to be coached by Coach Death Dealer and learn my style and stuff like that, I obviously do sprinkle in a little bit of my touch. Come by the gym, learn from me. I am going to be having some cool merch, some cool T-shirts coming out soon. So George, you're going to have your ass one for free. I'll give it to you. Just send me your
I don't
size.
want it free. I'm buying it. I don't want
All
it
right.
free. I'm
All
buying
right,
it.
let me know your size because I'm going to be printing a limited edition, couple few for the first one. I really want to start to get that branding out there so you guys can always buy my shirts from me too if I ever have them at the fights. And then if there's any people out there that want to sponsor me, I'll always support. I always will take sponsorships. Whether if it's for a sprinkler company or anything like that. If you're local, I love to support small local businesses. I mean, you guys always see me wearing them. I'm not sponsored by them yet, but represent. I'm always wearing their shit. But the biggest sponsor that I always want to thank, they always take care of me. They took care of one of the FightersRep cards, actually, the one that I knocked Yadir Perez out into. But it's Contenders, guys. It's the Contender Clothing Company, man. They make
Whoa, 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 whoa!
yo. Guys, I just gotta show love to them, man. Contenders, guys. Contenders Clothing Company. They're a really fucking awesome company. So, like I said, I'm always willing to take on sponsors. And follow me at Death Dealer _125 on Instagram. And come to watch my fights, guys. Like I said, I always try to put on a show for the fans. So it's always gonna be fun.
I love it. I love it. And shout out to Contenders Clothing, man. They have sponsored before, not just you, but us. And, I'm glad all you did was pull out the briefs there. I thought I was going to have to turn this into OnlyFans. Luckily, we kept it.
Oh, man. Hey, if I had an OnlyFans, you guys can buy that too and support it, but not yet.
But anyway, David, man, listen, I really appreciate your time. I'm such a big fan of you, and I can't wait to watch you and Mariano because I'm a big fan of him too. And I think this is going to be such a good fight, man. And I think if people miss this, they're crazy. If you're a fight fan and you miss this fight, then are you really a fight fan? I'm not sure you are, man. So definitely come out, watch this fight, get your tickets at FightersRep.com. David, thank you so much for your time, man. Is there anything you want to say before I let you go here?
Yeah, just the last shout outs. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for always having me on interviews, on your guys' cards. Basically postponing this fight for me. You know what I mean? Because the injury. But still allowing me to fight for basically what I feel like I've earned, and you guys have respected it. So I really,
you earned it, man. You earned it.
I really appreciate you guys for that. And then, shouts out to my gym, Buena Park Martial Arts Academy, and all my coaches that take care of me there. Our crew Stephanie, crew Vinesh, crew Mark over at Ferrer Academy. Another shouts out to Ferrer Academy. That's our mother gym over there. Once again, shouts out to my coach, Coach Pot. He's always taking care of me. He's always got my back. Shouts out to Contenders Clothing Company for always having my back and sponsoring me throughout all my fights that I've had with you guys as well too. And then shouts out to all the fans, all my family, my friends, everybody that actually really shows up and actually really likes fighting. Like, shouts out to you guys because you guys are the ones that are really keeping us up. Without you guys, I mean, I can go fight in a bar for free. Shit. You know what I mean? I can go fight anywhere for free if I want, but you know what I mean? Doing it in a crowd in an awesome ring for a very cool promotion such as yourselves, FightersRep. It's great, man. So yeah, shouts out to all you guys.
Appreciate you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, David Death Dealer Marquez. Catch him in the Lions Den doing what he does best, trying to deal death on November 18th.
Let's go.
At Fighters Rep 20. Get your tickets at FightersRep.com. David, thank you so much for your time, brother. You have a great night, and I will see you soon. Hopefully at the open workout, you'll show up too. Maybe get some pictures.
I'll show up. This is probably going to be the first one that I ever had, but I'm setting aside time. I really want to show up, so we'll do it.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll get you some good footage and stuff you can use, and hopefully, get you some more sponsors and stuff. But anyway, have a great one, man. Thank you so much for your time, brother. All right.